Imagine a world where death is not just a possibility, but a certainty. A time when entire towns vanished overnight, and the air was thick with fear and despair. This is the story of the Black Death, the deadliest pandemic in human history, a force so powerful that it reshaped the very fabric of society. But what if I told you that beyond the death and devastation, this event sparked transformations that still impact our world today? Stay with me as we journey through the shadows of history and uncover the lasting legacy of the Black Death. Welcome to Silent Centuries, where we unravel the shadows of history. Today we embark on an exploration of one of the most devastating events ever recorded, the Black Death. This catastrophic pandemic of the 14th century was responsible for the deaths of up to 200 million people, profoundly altering the course of history. Join us as we delve into the origins, spread, impact, and legacy of this tragic event and discover how it reshaped Europe and beyond. To understand the Black Death, we must journey back to its origins in Central Asia. The plague was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, which thrived in wild rodents and was transmitted by fleas. As the Mongol Empire expanded across Asia, it inadvertently facilitated the movement of this deadly bacterium. The disease traveled along the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes connecting Asia to Europe. By the early 14th century, the plague had reached China, causing widespread devastation and setting the stage for its spread to Europe. The Black Death made its entrance into Europe in 1347, when a fleet of Genoese ships docked in the Sicilian port of Messina. The disease spread quickly from this initial point of contact. Major port cities like Genoa, Venice, and Florence became hotspots of infection. The plague was carried by both sea and land routes, with infected rats and fleas hitching rides on ships and caravans. As the plague advanced, it swept through Europe's bustling cities, where overcrowding and poor sanitation facilitated its spread. The Black Death manifested in several forms, each with its own terrifying symptoms. The most common was the bubonic plague, marked by swollen, painful lymph nodes called buboes. Victims experienced fever, chills, and weakness, and the disease could progress rapidly, leading to death within a few days. The pneumonic form of the plague attacked the lungs and was highly contagious, spreading through respiratory droplets. The septicemic form, a rare but lethal variant, caused systemic infection and was almost always fatal. The disease spread through direct contact with infected individuals, contaminated materials, and flea bites. The human cost of the Black Death was staggering. Entire villages were wiped out, and cities faced unprecedented mortality rates. In some areas, death tolls reached as high as 60% of the population. Historical records describe scenes of mass graves and the abandonment of homes and businesses. The plague's impact was so profound that it led to a breakdown of social and economic structures. People lived in constant fear, and the once thriving cities of Europe were left eerily silent and desolate. The Black Death triggered significant social and economic upheaval. The dramatic loss of life led to severe labor shortages, which had far-reaching effects on agriculture and industry. Peasants and workers, who had previously been bound by feudal obligations, began to demand better wages and working conditions. This shift contributed to the gradual decline of the feudal system and the rise of a more market-oriented economy. The plague also affected land ownership, with many estates being abandoned or reallocated. The social fabric of Europe was forever altered as communities grappled with the aftermath of the catastrophe. In the wake of the Black Death, religious and cultural responses varied widely. Many people turned to the church for spiritual solace, while others sought answers through extreme measures. The flagellant movement emerged, with individuals engaging in public displays of penance and self-flagellation, believing that such acts could atone for their sins and halt the plague. The Church, grappling with its own loss of authority, faced criticism and scrutiny. The event also influenced art and literature, with many works reflecting themes of death, despair, and the fragility of life. The Black Death became a central motif in medieval culture, symbolizing the pervasive sense of dread and uncertainty of the era. Medieval medicine struggled to cope with the Black Death. Treatments were based on the limited understanding of disease transmission and often included ineffective remedies, such as herbal concoctions, bloodletting, and the use of charms and amulets. Physicians and healers employed various methods to combat the plague, but their efforts were largely futile. Some cities began to implement early quarantine measures, isolating the sick and imposing travel restrictions, but these efforts were rudimentary compared to modern public health practices. The Black Death highlighted the need for improved medical knowledge and the development of more effective disease prevention strategies. The aftermath of the Black Death was marked by a long period of recovery and transformation. The drastic reduction in population led to a gradual rebuilding of cities and societies. The economic and social changes initiated by the plague continued to influence European history for centuries. The event also spurred advancements in public health and medical practices, laying the groundwork for modern epidemiology and disease control. The Black Death's legacy is reflected in the profound changes it wrought in European society, shaping the course of history and influencing future generations. The Black Death remains one of the most significant and devastating events in human history. Its impact on Europe and the world was profound, reshaping societies and influencing future developments in medicine and public health. As we reflect on the lessons of the Black Death, we gain valuable insights into the challenges posed by pandemics and the importance of preparedness. What are your thoughts on the Black Death and its legacy? Share your reflections in the comments below. If you found this in-depth exploration compelling, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Silent Centuries for more detailed looks at pivotal moments in history. Your support enables us to continue uncovering and sharing these fascinating stories from the past.